welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you've not been here before. Today I've got another Sims 4 speed build for you, and today I decided that I wanted to make a streamer like studio home. That sounds so weird. I feel like studios are usually like apartments, but basically the idea being that all the living space is all together, completely open floor plan, except for the bathroom. There are walls and a door for the bathroom. I feel like everyone should have that. And I don't know how I decided on this particular look for the front and like having these diagonal pieces, but honestly I really liked it. I feel like I was just kind of messing around with it and just kind of doing stuff. And this is one of the smaller lots in Newcrest, and as you can see, like I've got like lots on the sides right now. I do end up, there you go, deleting them because I was having a hard time seeing the sides of this build, so I just like jumped out and then deleted those and then went back in. The one that you saw on the right is actually a dog trainer tiny home, and that'll be going up a little bit later on this month, so be on the lookout for that. I actually really love the way that house turned out. But the idea for this home is basically, I'm thinking it's someone that does streaming, maybe on Twitch or on YouTube or whatever. So they have like a dedicated space for that. And it was really fun actually creating like the backdrop for what would be like behind the streamer in their shot. Because I feel like that's really important, like what you're looking at when you're watching a stream, especially if they have like face cam. And so I ended up going with this very kind of clean, more modern look to the whole house. The most color there is actually in that backdrop of their streaming setup that you'll see in a little bit. And I kind of pieced together stuff from the Moschino stuff pack and from, I think it was Get Famous, because we get that video recording desk with it. And I decided to keep it pretty simple here in the front and just actually build in these like planter boxes. And I like the idea of putting the house on stilts because it just looks really clean and just like nice and open, because I wanted it like taller. And I don't know why it's bugged me like now. I feel like, because I always put a foundation on the house, like if I don't have a foundation and like it's not lifted off the ground, it feels weird. And I don't know why, but that's like become a thing for me now, I feel like. And I don't know why, I feel like the door, it looks like maybe not super modern, but I think that actually came with the university pack. And I don't know, I just really like the way it looked in that area with like the rounded window on the top and everything. And then you can see I've already put the platform in the back, and that's where I decided to actually put the streaming space for this sim. And I did also include some stuff for having a cat in this build as well, which most of it can double for a dog, except for the like cat, like, what is it? I don't know what it's called. I don't have a cat, so not a cat tree, but the cat like playground thing. Anyways, that structure is going to be over in the corner. And I had originally thought about putting like the cat space like in the background of the stream, but I opted to move it because I don't know, it wasn't like symmetric and it was bothering me. But you'll see that later on. I feel like I've been talking about that space and I haven't even started it, and it's like the last thing I do because I was really excited about it. I waited till the very end to do it, and I end up over here putting in the kitchen kind of over in that corner, and then the other one is the bathroom that you can see does have walls and a door, so your Sims won't get embarrassed if they have like people over. But it was actually a very spacious kitchen, considering this is like supposed to be like a studio kind of space. And I went with a lot of black and white, and then this blue color, like a teal, ends up being the accent color in this home for this sim. I feel like I am drawn towards that because it's like one of my favorite colors and is actually all over my house. And I wanted it to be kind of interesting, and I feel like I use the tile here to be kind of the statement piece in that space instead of using a lot of clutter to do it, because I do use a lot of clutter in my builds. And I ended up just kind of giving them the space. I did remember a trash can, so that was pretty exciting. And I ended up actually putting the cat like feeder thing by the front door. I felt like it was kind of like a nice little nook for it. And then I actually later on, when I'm actually working on the living room, apparently I had paused my recording because I think I was having trouble picking couches out, and I forgot to started again once I figured out what I wanted to use. So like all of a sudden the living room is just going to appear later. So just as a warning, it's just going to be like the living room's not there and then all of a sudden it is with everything there. And there's honestly, this is very large. I didn't actually tag this as like a tiny home or anything, but I'm wondering if it actually would be considered a tiny home. And like that would be nice if you wanted to use that for like the perks of skill gain and things like that, especially if your sim is doing like the media production and everything with the skills that came with Get Famous. And of course you can use this even if you don't have like that, technically that like media setup desk. You can of course replace it with a normal desk and a computer, and I think it would work just fine. I just like the look of it, and it already had like a camera on it, and so it just felt like it already made sense. And then I ended up just using, again, very like simple colors around here, and then I ended up using like 2 cabinets actually as the nightstands, which I feel like I like to do, but a lot of times I feel like it doesn't fit usually in the spaces, even though I try to, but for this one, there was just a lot of open space for it to be used. And I used those like curtains that I feel like you would have like a button that you would press and they would all just like come down and be really fancy and modern. I don't have those kinds of blinds, but you know, I don't know, maybe somebody who makes a lot of money streaming, maybe they would. But I feel like if you did make a lot of money, I don't know if you'd be living in a place this small, but honestly, like it is really nice though if it's just like one sim. And when I took the screenshots, it was funny. I usually just find like a sim off the gallery and tweak it if I need to. And I found like, I literally went and searched just for a streamer, and I found a streamer that had a cat. I was like, this is perfect. This will work really well. So I do have some good shots of like the cat and the sim kind of interacting in the house. Although the cat was being very like not cooperative when I was trying to get it to do things. But I guess I don't have a cat, but I feel like that's kind of the thing, that cats just kind of do whatever. And so yeah, like I said, we just kind of all of a sudden have a living room just appearing here out of nowhere because, like I said, I had a weird thing happen with my recording. But I actually went back and forth too about what decorative pieces I wanted to put on the fireplace. So see me try a few different things or combine different objects, because I think I was trying to keep it really simple, but I wanted stuff on the mantle. But anyways, I figured it out in the end, and then we put that adorable little like bowl on the table, which I feel like I don't use that object very often because I don't feel like it fits, but I felt like it worked so well in this particular home. And then I feel like I waited a little while to clutter up like the chest by the bed. Like, I don't know why it took me a while. And I honestly feel like I did things out of order because I did the wallpaper like way later than I usually do. I feel like that helps drive how I actually decorate. But for this, I just wanted to put down all of the furniture and then figure out the wallpaper later, which I feel like sometimes also gets me in trouble because then I'm like, no, nothing matches this furniture that I have picked out. I can't find something that works. And so I used that like cool paneling, and I actually used it in the black swatch on like those sidewalls. It felt like it helped anchor a lot of the lighter pieces that I had in that space. And for the bathroom, I didn't include a shower, but I include this like luxurious like jacuzzi tub because I don't know why. It just felt like it fit really well in the space, and I'm imagining like your sim can like hang out, have an awesome bath, and like look out the window, even though actually the sims I think sit the other way since the faucet is like over like off in that corner. And then I just put a couple pieces of art in here. I'm thinking if they're hanging out in the bathtub, they have something to look at. But it's interesting when I take the screenshots now with sims in it, like I never get really into the bathroom because it just seems really weird. Like I thought about it. I thought it would be cool if I could get a screenshot of a sim like looking out the window or something while they're taking a bath, but it just seems weird. And like taking a picture of your sim when they have that like blurry thing going on because, you know, they're not wearing any clothes. So I don't have one of those. So those bathroom screenshots will just stay as just normal screenshots without sims in it because it's just weird. I tried it and I didn't like it. And then for the streamer space back here, I kind of went back and forth on what I wanted, like the color scheme and everything. And I actually found those like invisible lights that I ended up putting on the ceiling that actually gave off like a blue light, which was actually kind of cool. So I went with like the blue color in the background, and I added in those extra lights around the desk because I felt like, you know, getting a lighting right when you're streaming or doing videos is like really important so people can actually see you and see what's happening. And that's where I had like that cat thing that I can't for the life of me like figure out what the name is right now. But I do end up actually getting rid of the stairs on the left side and putting in a bigger one there because I figured the cat might want to sit in front of the window and hang out there. And you don't really need necessarily 2 sets of stairs to get up there, but anyways, and I knew I wanted some like cool lights on the wall in the background, and I think those are from like the bowling pack, which I never use. I feel like I need to like build a bowling alley because I just don't use that stuff, but I feel like it's really cool looking. And I tried to make like a cubicle kind of thing, but it just wasn't centering right, and I was like, I don't know, but I ended up actually putting a couch back there because I feel like that would be something that's really cool. And I put like some stuffed animals on it. Like I feel like maybe the sim collects like squishmallows or something and they like displaying them. And I found that like studio equipment and put that on the wall because I feel like if you are doing this professionally, you would have a lot of equipment, different cameras, things like that. Maybe they vlog too and do other videos. And then I figured out that that light had that like blue and yellow. And so I just kind of went with it. Like I said, this is the most colorful part of this home is that like streamer space. But I think it actually turned out really well with the colors. And like, I feel like I would enjoy looking at that if I was watching someone stream. And then just putting some simple floating shelves, and I end up putting like some awards up there and also some extra like lamps again to like add a little bit of lighting and a little bit of interest in that space. I don't clutter up the shelves too much, but I just felt like, you know, some nice pieces like where they display things. And then I forgot now what that like plumb bob lamp does, the yellow one. I don't remember now, but I felt like it worked really well here. And then I do end up putting like a guitar in the background and then like that bunny one. And then I think I end up putting a plant. I can't remember actually what I end up putting in the other corner, but I was like, it just looks so plain that I need something. And then I felt like maybe that fluorescent light is like maybe their, or not fluorescent, oh my gosh, neon light is like maybe their logo. And I thought those kind of look like swords, like maybe from some sort of video game. And tell me down below if you know what those are. But I felt like that was pretty appropriate. Maybe they like stream whatever video game that's from. And then I just kind of mess around a little bit more with what I want to put over in the corner. And again, another little octopus, and like, because those things are so cute. And then I just wanted to make sure there was enough lighting. Like that was what I really wanted, is like I end up hitting like a long light behind the couch to make sure it's nice and backlit. But that's actually about it for this streamer studio. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more like it. I have a playlist down below so you can check out some of my other gameplay or my other builds. If you're interested in those, we'd love to have you on the channel. And I hope you have a really sweet day. Bye everybody.